What's good, everybody? Jack and Lockie here from the Hard Rundown podcast, episode number 13 of The Return. Today, we are covering the Bucks, the champions, and the Nuggets, the team that somehow beat Portland. Um, let's get into it. Lockie, do you want to start with? I reckon we start with Milwaukee. Actually, I think we're gonna
Champs.
start with the champs. Start off
Mm.
nice and good. Hit it out.
I said this about another team recently, but I don't think the Bucks are I don't know if the Bucks are a regular season team. Um, just like looking at how they showed up in the playoffs. It's like they kind of show up when it's like most needed. In my opinion, I still say 50 wins, um, improving upon last year, but obviously, I reckon they can hit 55, even 60 if they play with that same like hunger they played in the playoffs. But I still think they are a more playoff team than they are a regular season team. They do show
Yeah,
up at that, when they kind of need it. But yeah, it doesn't place the fact that they are still contenders. They've kept a pretty much the same core. Um, Obviously lost PJ Tucker, which is definitely an L. But like you're bringing back Dante DiVincenzo, who people forget. People kind of forget how good he was before he was injured. So
yeah,
things kind of even out. They brought back Bobby on a ridiculously like cheap deal. I don't know why he would not.
crazy.
He should have got his bag, but hey,
It's
whatever.
so well.
He
He knows
he's
he,
yeah
he knows his worth.
yeah definitely. Like he's got his bag before, so
Yeah,
he should be sweet. Sneaky star, Drew Holiday. Um, we're both big fans of Drew.
I
What he
love Drew
does
Holiday.
on both
Fuck.
sides.
Have my children.
Hell yeah. Um,
Amen.
Amen. 'Cause,
Amen to that.
yeah, you saw what he did in the finals. You see what he did with Lillard a couple of years ago. Like consistently showing up. He's inefficient sometimes, and he can be inconsistent. But I still like he still shows up, and he still is so composed when he does so. Um,
Mm.
that steal against Booker, and then to throw a lob when you're in close like that, one of the greatest plays I've ever seen live,
My man was crazy
without a
with that.
doubt. I was going, oh, that was so ambitious.
I remember it like it was yesterday. That shit
Oh
was lit.
man, that was great. Yeah, so that was incredible. He's a sneaky star, 100%. Um, won't get all star votes, but he shows up.
He's that
Um,
guy.
He is that guy, and people forget that he's a lot of the time he's guarding the best player, like kind of full court. Like he'll
Yeah,
meet him in their back court and just harass, you know, continually.
yeah,
So
for
yeah, he
sure.
definitely gets that sneaky star
Yeah,
spot. Impact player, probably Bobby Portis, but I do think Brook Lopez is has that impact for the Bucks. When he came there, I wasn't sure how he was going to work. He reminded me of Greg Monroe having a post player come to the
Oh
Bucks, and we
shit.
saw how
Yeah.
that worked.
Mm.
Um, that didn't really work. So having Brook Lopez come there, and he's really proved himself. Not only has he been able to stretch the floor as like a stretch five, but his defense has improved immensely. Like
Yeah.
he's been really great, and he didn't even. I was worried going to the Suns series that he was gonna kind of get exposed by Chris Paul because of how like crafty he is. But he
Yeah.
did a pretty decent job throughout. Didn't
Definitely.
didn't like leave his feet as much as you'd expect someone to against Chris Paul because that's what he can really do against you. You leave your feet, do a little in and out. But he did a great job. So I think he's that impact player. Team MVP, the most likable guy in the league, Giannis.
How can you hate the man?
Yeah,
How can
you
you
got to be
hate the man,
happy for him. Yeah,
bro?
you can't hate him.
What a man.
Um, yeah, rising star, Dante DiVincenzo. I'm really like I really think he's going to have a great year. Having a team that just won a championship and you come back after improving all 3 seasons. Now, not major improvements, but he's improved with every single season. And he was averaging 15 for like a bit of it, and then he kind of had a decline. But like he's still a really really good all round guard who's incredibly athletic, a good defender, he can shoot the ball. He showed promise as kind of getting his own spot and being a bit of a scorer. But he's coming off the bench, he still adds another dynamic piece. So imagine having him and Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis coming off the bench in that Sun series. Like,
Yeah.
it would make it. I honestly think it would make it probably not a 5-game series, but it definitely would. He definitely as a 3-and-D athletic player next to Pat Connaughton, it just adds so much. It just causes a lot of worry for any defense they're going up against.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone else predicted they'd make the finals and let alone win. I don't think anyone did. No one.
If you ask me at the start of the season, I would not have picked that at all. At all.
That's what I love though, man. Like it was so cool to see a different team win and a team who honestly deserved it.
That was the best season I've watched in, I reckon, since 2016. That was the best season.
Since 2016.
2016. 2016 is the best NBA season I've ever watched, not been a part of, but it was the by far. I know it's semi-biased because it has won, but even regardless of that, Warriors 73-9, Steph Curry MVP, it was just the whole season was unbelievable.
Yeah. That is an all-time year.
All time.
Giannis, we talked about it in our I think season preview or the free agency. We talked about it earlier in our episodes, but we're saying he takes that top spot as the best player in the league until we can see what Bron and KD can bring to the plate.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, he's the most. I put him above Westbrook, even as the most hungry player in the league. The most, he just leaves it all out there. No disrespect to Westbrook, but I just think.
Yeah, that's so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful.
Westbrook.
What the Westbrook?
Yeah. Bucks are full of heart, most passionate defensive team I've seen recently, along with the Knicks. But yeah, just a really passionate team. I don't think they'll repeat based off the fact that a bunch of teams below them have improved, and whether they are whether they are, I guess, this one championship team who've kind of made it on a whim. I don't think that's the case, but it's you see what happened with the Heat. They made the finals and then they had a slump a year after.
Yeah.
They were a better team than the Heat were coming into the finals or in that final series. It's just I wonder if they'll repeat, but 100% they're making conference finals.
Yeah.
That's where they belong. It's probably Nets or Sixers. I'm not sure if any other team could really push that. Maybe the Knicks, maybe the Heat. You never know. You saw the Hawks, who were the 5th seed, make the conference finals. So it's really anyone's game. But they will definitely make conference finals. It would be a disappointment season if they don't. But yeah, 50 plus wins. I'll go for the Bucks.
Right. Yeah. So great season. Great season. Your awards your predictions are very similar to mine. I've kind of stuck with the young core of Middleton, Giannis, and Drew for majority of these awards. NBA champs. Enough said. I don't know how you can hate Giannis as in any way, shape of any way. I said this before the season started. Drew Holiday was the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
He was quite inconsistent in the playoffs, I'll be honest. But when it mattered, his defense carried them to a championship, in my opinion. No, I don't think anyone else in the league is going to shake up Devin Booker like that and then just out of nowhere get the fast break and just throw up a lob to Giannis with 20 seconds to go in a game 6 or game 5 or I can't remember.
Yeah.
Middleton showed up and showed out. The Dante DiVincenzo injury didn't really affect them as much as I thought it was going to, because Pat Connaughton kind of fitted the mold anyways. So like it wasn't a massive loss. And Pat came off the bench and he was flourished. He just flourished like immensely. And Bobby Portis is the GOAT.
He's,
Um, he was. He's
he
just. I
scares
don't
me.
know. He's a cultural icon, and his eyes stare right into your soul.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. I've gone 55 wins. Plus, like they can win 60 games, which is just weird to say because I haven't said that about any team yet. Rising star Dante DiVincenzo, good fit for the team, and he's already learning from Drew and Chris Middleton. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't see anyone else. Most improved Pat Connaughton. I think he really showed up in the playoffs. I think it's an interesting player to have as your like most improved. But I think because he's not a stat sheet stuffer or anything, he's just a guy that comes on and plays defense and scores. But I think he can have a big jump this year. Team MVP, Chris Middleton. The Batman to Giannis's Robin. No, I'm kidding. It's Greek Freak. Enough said. Impact player. I've gone two. I've gone Middleton and Drew Holiday because I think both of them just without them two, there is no way you're even making the playoffs. I don't think. Which is weird to say.
Yeah.
Because Giannis is like a freak of nature. But yeah, so I think those two are definitely the impact players. Sneaky Star, Drew Holiday. Like, I really couldn't pick anyone. So Drew, yeah, he's not talked about much. But his impact on the game, the way he orchestrates the offense, the way he can just kind of play off ball and on ball. He's so like versatile. He can do a lot of things really well. So yeah, he's my sneaky star.
Yeah.
Not much to cover with the Bucks. Like honestly, like we know what they like. We know what they won the championship. They're the reigning champs. I almost said premiers. Like it was like an NRL season.
It's the Sharks.
Yeah, the Sharkies. But yeah, the Bucks. They don't need to make a statement or anything. That is the Bucks. Let's head to the Nuggets. I can start this one.
Yeah.
Just take a rest. You've been working too hard. The Nuggets are very interesting. Very interesting. I just realized before they signed Jeff Green.
Yeah.
He was going to be my impact player until I just forgot someone for some reason.
Yeah.
MVP Jokic last year. Jamal Murray injured. Michael Porter Jr. was kind of inconsistent, but then kind of just like grew into it kind of. Austin Rivers balled out of nowhere. How the fuck did they beat Portland? I have no idea. I got them winning 50 games. I've predicted a lot of teams to win 50 games in these season previews. And when I say 50 wins, I just think it's around that 50 win mark. I don't think they might not reach 50. They might maybe get like 48, 49. But regardless, rising star, Aaron Gordon. This is weird to say. Weird to say because I think he was very quiet in Denver, I thought. Again, he ruined a lot of my multis. The over 13 points were just never hitting for some. I don't know how you don't score 13 points as Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So yeah, he's my rising star. I think he can really like he's a really good fit for Denver and what they're trying to do. Most improved, Michael Porter Jr., self-explanatory. I think he's going to come in and just be an absolute menace again. Team MVP, Jokic. Like, this team's very self-explanatory. Impact player, Jamal Murray. This is something I want to... Well, okay, this is something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray is the perfect fit to be next to Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. He's just a scorer. He's a great playmaker. He's actually not the worst defender.
No.
And I just think, in terms of impact, if Jamal Murray was playing in the playoffs, if he didn't get injured, they would have made... I think they could have beaten the Suns. And this is where it comes to with the Suns, like, they had a really lucky run with injuries. If they versed Denver, they had no one on that team that could guard Jokic.
Yeah.
And Jamal Murray is such a good scorer that I reckon if he was playing, they definitely would have beat the Suns in probably 7 or 6. He's my impact player. I just think he's unbelievable. Great scorer, great playmaker. Doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective, like I said before. Definitely the missing piece to that deep playoff run. Like I said, I still can't believe they beat Portland.
Mm.
Sneaky start. This is very sneaky. Marcus Howard. This is all dependent on minutes, but in the minutes that he played at the end of the season last year, he was actually kind of good. He was a great player in college, and I think he's on a 2-way contract, so it's really dependent on minutes. If he gets some good minutes, then I think he's definitely a point guard in this league. He can definitely stay around for years to come. So that is my predictions. Now shut up.
But Nuggets, I predict they'll take a step back this season. Most teams in this in like the top 4. I think every single team in the top 4 have made improvements in the West. Utah's made improvements. Suns have made like little improvements, but they still made improvements. Clippers have made improvements. Nuggets are the team where I don't actually see if they've made huge improvements. I love the signing of Jeff Green. He kind of feels that kind of like Jeremiah Grant or
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant. I don't know. I look at how his name, how it looks, and I just say I pronounce it. Jeremiah. And he was the other. Torrey Craig as well.
Hi, Brad. Awkward. Who cares? Hey, Brad.
So I think he can fill that void of having a 3-and-D wing who can play his minutes as guarding like a forward on the opposing team. He still has value in this league.
Yeah.
Sticky star. I got Aaron Gordon.
Sticky star.
He's probably the perfect forward to pair with Jokic as someone who can cut. Low key, I think it's weird, but I think a pick and roll action with those two would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Now I look at Jokic kind of like guarding the ball, going into that screen, and then Gordon kind of rolling. He just throws it up and he either dunks or he just gets it, catches, gathers himself, and gets a bit of a hook. You should be an
NBA trainer.
Yeah,
the way you just do that with your hands. Oh,
man, hey, sign me up.
But nah, I do agree. I think it's a great dynamic that they've got.
Yeah, and Gordon's been kind of he's had probably the most similar center to Jokic. Probably not with passing, I guess, but Vucevic. He's had him for most of his career, who's been a really skilled center, but they haven't gone anywhere. And Gordon's hasn't really hit his peak yet.
Yeah.
Ultra athletic forward who can shoot and he can slash inside. He's one of those players where you need to kind of tap into. He's not gonna go out. He's not so polished that he's gonna go out and just give him the ball and he'll give you 20, 25 every night. He needs those pieces around him, in my opinion, like a Jokic to help him, and like a Murray as well to put him in places where he can be that player. But yeah, impact player. We don't really like him because he's a bit of a pest, but Campazzo, the little point guard.
I can't do it.
As an impact player, he's that guy. He's annoying as hell, but he's an impact player, and
he kind of just came out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's something to really be, I guess, proud of for him. He hasn't signed a long contract with the Nuggets yet, has he? I don't think he's extended his contract.
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. I think he's a great impact player. Assuming he started obviously with Murray out, but he'll be great off the bench. Team MVP, Jokic. What else is there to say about Jokic? I just think being a second round draft pick, and to win MVP, the odds of that happening is ridiculous. So whoever scouted him, they need to raise. But yeah, shout out Jokic, can really do everything. The only knock on him is, I guess, the defensively and like his athleticness, but at the end of the day, he's a triple-double center. Like that's unheard of.
That's like crazy. The only person I've ever heard that's like that is like what's his name? Sabonis, like Avidas Sabonis.
Yeah,
Like a 7'3" big that just like I don't know. Wow. Like
Who's
there's
that
no
kind of
one like
player?
there is no one like him. There's no
Yeah.
one like him.
Yeah, and
And that is
no one would have picked that as well. He came in
no.
and people were saying, "Oh, he's going to take minutes away from Yusuf Nurkic," and I'm like, "Yeah, probably," but
What a joke.
it worked out. Rising star, Michael Porter Jr. probably. Everyone's rooting for Bol to get some minutes. I hope he gets minutes. I don't know why.
I don't think he'll get minutes though.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Like,
I think he'll spend his first, like he already has now, his first few years in the G League, and then I think once Jokic leaves to go to New York, no, I'm kidding. I don't know. I think Bol's he's a project, and I think the Nuggets know that, and I think they're just taking their time with him.
okay.
But no, like definitely he could like he's like a garbage time player at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's where you kind of see the like he played really. What was it? The summer league.
Yeah,
He played a bit of the summer league. He was really good in the summer league for the time that he played. So I think he's definitely shown potential. He could easily be the backup center, like easily, because like I don't think they have much center depth. I'm pretty sure they don't have much center depth. So having a guy like Bol just kind of come in, no pressure, just kind of like grab some rebounds, do a few dribble moves, go crazy with it.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, if him as a project, then okay, that's fine. I just would like to see them lock him down. If he is a project, like, lock him down for a couple of years. I don't think he'll. He knows he hasn't proved himself in this league. So if you can get him on a cheap deal for a couple of years and let him know, hey, like we're taking a chance on you. We just want to see how you go with over the years, and whether he says yes to that, whatever. And whether they listen to my advice, probably not.
No, they listen. They listen to this. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
But he can be that. He can just be a really skilled center. Probably not a starter in this league. Just because of, I guess, the fact that he could be very injury prone, and he isn't a strong guy. He's
definitely not. He's very like he's a stick figure at 7'3", 7'4".
Yeah, but the fact that they got him in the second round, it's not a waste of a pick at all.
The fact that he can do so many things that like 7'3", like when I think 7'3", realistically I only think of like Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, that's the only.
And I think Kristaps is definitely better, but like Bolwell has more like tools. I think. Like he could ISO someone, like he can ISO someone, but he's just not strong at all. He's got no strength.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's got like a 40 strength in 2K, which is like crazy for a center.
Yeah, but I guess his shooting over guys is going to be where he's really going to make his make his impact.
He's living,
make his living. So I think they'll take a step back this season. I don't see them as improving as much as the other teams, unfortunately, but it could go another way as well. Nuggets have proven not only are they a regular season team, but they are a playoff team as well. They really show up and they play hard. So they can honestly go either way. But out of those four teams in the West, the top four, I do see them as having an actual decline. Not to take him out of the four, because I've written 44 wins, but again, I don't think they'll go out of that top four spot. So we'll see. And just like a really well-rounded team, plenty of scoring, plenty of guys who can pass, and like a variety of lineups they can throw out there. Especially adding Jeff Green. I'm keen for the Nuggets.
Yeah, I think they've definitely got a team that can kind of win now, but I think they will. I don't know. They're a bit of an unpredictable team too, because injuries have not fucked them, but it's hindered their performances in the last year or so.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited. I think they'll have a good year. That's all I have to say. I think they're both two self-explanatory teams. The next two episodes are going to be where it's at. 4 big teams actually. one with a big decision to make in the Sixers. That's going to be Lockie's episode to shine because he's going to just unload.
Unload. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to unload. Fuck this. I like the sus aspect of this podcast.
I do, yeah. It's a good dynamic.
Adds to the dynamic. All right, well that's it for me. Lockie, any final words?
Shout outs. Who should we shout out?
Oh shit, we haven't done that in ages.
Yeah, but we need to keep doing them.
Fuck, I have no idea.
Bol for curving an Instagram model. He was with him for the money.
Oh my god.
Yeah, shout out Bol. He's simp.
Fuck, now I have to pick one. Shout out shout out Nikola Jokic for that off-season workout. He's looking very lean, I'll be honest.
I haven't seen
lean,
it, yeah.
Lean, mean.
Triple double machine.
Lean, mean, sus machine. Alright, that's it from me. Next episode, we got Suns and Nets, two big teams, and then after that, our final season preview episode is Philly and Utah. Two teams with big expectations for next year. Like I said at the end of last episode, the Boston Celtics franchise mode is coming soon.
Let's go.
Probably I'm going to record probably during the week next week. I need to also set up this whole game capture stuff that I haven't used in years. So, very excited for that. If you have any thoughts or anything on this podcast or on the future series that I'll be doing that Lockie will also be helping in, leave your comments down below. Let us know on socials as well. Instagram I will link in the bio, which I'll definitely forget. It's just Hardwood Rundown Podcast. So
run it up.
Keep an eye out for that. New content coming as always. We out here.
Let's go.
Let's go.